what is the reaction? I know when I talked to you yesterday, we were hoping Steelers.
Oh my gosh, we are so excited. We are so excited. I mean, it is just right up the road. He gets to be around family, and he is such a family person. So this is perfect. I mean, God knows what He is doing, and Zach was thrilled. You saw his face. He was so thrilled. So we are thrilled.
What have these last 24 hours been like, just sitting in anticipation waiting?
It felt like a pressure cooker because you knew that his name was going to be called, but you couldn't do anything. And as a mom, you're like helpless because you're just waiting. You're waiting for like almost a birth of something like so exciting and a new adventure for him and for Stephanie.
So after all the waiting, when he stood up because that phone was ringing,
Oh my gosh. I mean, like really, like it, you just were like, it's here. Because it was like, what, 4 more picks? And so we've never done this. Nobody's ever done this. And it was 4 picks away. And that's not how I thought it was going to be. I thought maybe 2 picks or something. And 4 picks away. And when the moment came, I was not prepared for it. It was so exciting. And then just to see him, and then his phone. The phone debacle, but you know what? He handled it like a champ. Just got up there, remained calm, and talked it out, and that was so exciting. It was a great moment.
With the way his collegiate career ended in that Baylor game, how much more special does that make this moment?
I think it. It's everything. I think it really is everything. Because you can have faith and you have to put your faith to work. And you just really do. From the moment he got himself off that field, determined they were going to win. Because we weren't coming out of those stands. One of my brothers wanted to come out of the stands to go straight to him, and I said, absolutely not. We will stand right here until we win this game, because I know my son, he purposely got off that field so they would win. So we will stand here until they win that game. And I knew he would fight so hard to get back for this moment. And so when that happened, it was like, yes.
Just being from West Virginia, having the opportunity for him to represent his home state, and now, once again, be in driving distance. Could you have pictured it any better?
No, absolutely not. Like, no. Only God. This is incredible.
To the city of Pittsburgh, that maybe is a little unfamiliar with your son, what would you tell them about what kind of person he is?
You are going to get somebody who will show up early and work late. He will not disappoint you, and he is somebody who just doesn't stop working. Like, he studies film, and he will outwork. He will just outwork. He will outwork everyone. He just really will. He is a hard worker. Just get ready for it. He will change what you've seen. He just really will.
What have these last 24 hours been like for your family?
It's been crazy. I mean, a lot of crazy emotions over the past 24 hours. But as you can see, we had a lot of support for him, and just I'm speechless. I don't know what to say.
The second that you saw him get up on the couch and answer that phone, what was your reaction?
Yeah, it was kind of a little bit of nerve-wracking because, I just didn't know. The thing we didn't know until we actually had to go upstairs and, didn't know who the team was until we got up there. And then, we found out it was Pittsburgh. Of course, we were ecstatic. I mean, it's just a storied organization. I mean, it's just amazing. So.
The fact that you had the opportunity to be very close to watch him in college, now just about as close as you can get to watch him in the NFL, just how special is that?
Yeah, it is. I mean, if you could see, you saw all of his cousins that were there on the couch with him tonight, and family's just everything to him. So to have that support system and be so close, it's really going to be special. So.
Now, I asked Heather this as well, but when you saw that play happen at Baylor, did you think you would get to this moment, or what really went through your head seeing that?
The thing I knew is that I knew how he would react to adversity. I knew he was going to fight as hard as he could, but and I knew whatever the outcome was, he was going to be fine because he's going to be successful in whatever he does. But I knew if there was any way, obviously his faith came through. That's obviously what he leaned on. But I knew he was going to work his tail off, and that's what he's always done. So we couldn't be prouder.
Every time we talk to Zach about playing football, he always mentions you and the role that you played in the player that he is today. Yeah. How special has the relationship with football been between you two?
It's been everything. I mean, I still remember coaching high school football, and him coming up to me as 7, 8-year-old kid, and just saying, Dad, will you coach me? And I've always told him that's one of the best days of my life because, just being able to work with him and just be able to talk football. But the thing I will tell you about that kid is he loves football. And he loves football, and it's not just something he's going to do halfway. He's going to give every ounce of his effort to that organization, and I saw that from an early age. So couldn't be prouder.
So as a guy that coached him young and watched him develop, what's your scouting report on him?
Well, I think it's a number of things. I think it's I think he's a very cerebral player. I think he's a very intelligent player, but he's obviously a very physical player. I think he combines those two things very well. I think he's got great lateral movement. I think he likes to get movement off the ball. Loves the run game. Good in pass protection. So I'd hire him.
Well, a mixture of stress and anxiety, but that comes with the whole atmosphere of things. But the last up to an hour or so of things happening, it was probably the most nerve-wracking, stressful, and happy our family has been in a hot second, especially throughout this whole stressful week. So, yeah, we were roller coaster of emotions all around. So many high points, low points, and tunnels all around. But we were definitely at the end of the road. We were incredibly happy and satisfied for what was chosen for Zach.
How excited are you that he gets to stay just about as close to you guys as he can?
Well, the thing with that is that we're happy, obviously, that he's close by. I mean, even if he was across the country, we would have still supported him as much as we're supporting him right now. The thing is that growing up, when Zach first started going to football, like Pee Wee League and all that kind of stuff, when he told me that he wanted, after he got a big flathead of Zach Thomas from the Miami Dolphins, he said he wanted to go to the NFL. And I told him that I'll make you this deal. And I kept up to it, where it was, I won't pick a favorite NFL team throughout my entire life until the day you get drafted. And obviously we're kids, so I don't know if he actually thought I was going to keep it. But leading up to him, right before he left to go put to the combine, I reminded him that, and he was shocked that I still remember that. And I said, you do realize that come from a sports family, I have a hard time remembering which plays are what. So I'm surprised you're shocked by that. But yes, I was adamant, and I remained true, and I'm a Steelers fan now.
What was it like growing up with Zach? Can you give us some insight on what he was like as a brother?
Oh my gosh, he's the brother any storybook, any movie from Hollywood ever would dream of trying to create. He was incredibly supportive. He was my life coach, and he was my role model. Because growing up, there were times when especially like the peers in the high school started to realize that Zach actually starts having like this potential of becoming a professional athlete. Some of them actually started like directing at me because they wanted me to be the next him, and they're even like belittling me because of that. But Zach, when he learned about that stuff, he never once forced me to become the next him. He never once like made me feel little or beneath him or anything like that. In fact, he always, anytime he saw me at my lowest, he always rised me up, like peeking my head above the clouds and trying my best to like say like, you can keep climbing, you can keep soaring. He keeps pushing me, even though he knows like the times where I struggle and I'm in pain. He keeps giving me that extra like adrenaline, that extra motivation to just keep going through. And the amount of times where I've struggled on my path and I think of my brother, and that's when I remember that I have it good. And I wouldn't trade him for anything. I wouldn't get rid of him for anything. I would never betray him or anything like that because he's always been there for me. So I'll always be there for him.
Now you've had the opportunity to watch him play football for his whole life.
Oh my Lord. And that was the funniest and most amazing thing I could ever do. Coming from, I mentioned earlier that I come from a sports family and I don't know a lick about sports. Just wasn't my cup of tea, but I always loved watching Zach play or my cousins play. And I would always crack up my family or my friends where I try to come up with like what I think is happening on the field or coming up with what the names of the plays are or the positions. And my little cousins who love these sports to death would just crack up or just cringe because they're just like, how is he like the third oldest and been around Zach like one of the longest and he doesn't know this. But yeah, because in high school I was a marching band, so I was there every home game and some away games, and where we were positioned is one of the best seats in all of East West Stadium, and I always got to see the most perfect plays, like Zach, and always Zach's in the middle of them. So much so that one of my favorite moments was actually from his senior year, where he actually he tackled the ball carrier, fumbled it, and he grabbed it and just parted the Red Sea essentially and scored. And I remember my dad and I, because he was there on my break from our field show, we were freaking out. We looked over and we saw the high school coaches like throwing papers and towels. They were having like a hooter and hollering about it. It was so surreal. It was amazing. I always loved Zach, watching him play.